All right, so that one was terrible. That was 6.29. It's that damn Neomag. Still not used to it. So the next one I'm gonna try from this little cheap outside the waistband mag carrier. So we'll see how that goes. All right, so this one I botched the reload with the Neomag. Now I want to try it with the outside the waistband mag carrier. All right, so the first time 6.29. So that was 4.57, and that was actually the same time on the draw. The previous draw was 1.76. This one's 1.75. So me and that Neomag have some work to do. Really having trouble grasping the whole getting from the Neomag, so I don't know. That's something to think about. It was just more natural and faster. I had a good grip on the magazine, presented it to the mag well. So I'll continue doing this, and then we'll probably catch a couple of shots of the next drills. All right, so we just did some 25-yard bullseye shooting. Definitely need to work on that. So I've got the one of those 8-inch targets, I guess kind of like a B8 or something, and I was noticed that at 15 yards, you know, I wasn't doing terrible, but I wanted to back up 25 yards and see what we got going on there as far as accuracy. And 25 yards is tough, especially with this little 3.6-inch monstrosity, at least for me anyway. But I noticed that I did groups of 3, loaded my magazine with 12 rounds, and the first couple of strings I did at 25 yards, they was pretty, they didn't get much bigger than the 8-inch circle. But then I noticed as the groups of 3, you know, as I started going through the groups of 3, started closing in, and now at one point I actually hit the red on the bullseye, which is like a 1-inch, 1 inch, 1.25 red dot on there at 25 yards. And then on my last string, I had a group of about like that right under the bullseye. So I'm pretty pleased with that. That's not bad for me. I started out life as a rifle shooter, carbine and stuff like that. So pistol's still kind of new to me because your front sight at that distance, at least in my scenario, the front sight's actually larger than what I'm aiming at. So, but right now we're going to do a drill. It's 4 to the body, 1 to the head, strong hand only, 7 yards. We'll see how it goes. I already did this one earlier, so it's not cold. It's not cold outside by any stretch of the imagination. Strong hand only, all A-zone hits. Definitely a lot slower than two-handed presentation because the gun seems like it jumps around quite a bit more. So that was 4 to the body, 1 to the head. Let's see. I'll see if I can squeeze another drill in there. So the next drill we got is high ready, strong hand only. All right, so you're gonna use you're gonna load 5. We're gonna transfer to support hand, fire 4 to body, 1 to the head with support hand only. This one can be kind of difficult transferring over, but we'll try it out, see how it goes. In which case, it's ironic because I actually shoot one-handed better with my left hand than I do with my right hand. I guess for all those years I shot left-handed because it was about a year and a half, 2 years ago, I switched over and started shooting right hand because I'm right-eye dominant. But as far as one-handed, for some reason, I really shoot a lot better. Support hand only shooting with a pistol, I do pretty decent, pretty far amount better than I do my right hand. I'll set up and we'll run another drill here in just a minute. All right, guys, so this one is going to be 7 to the body, 1 to the head, freestyle. Some of these are pretty simple, but they kind of break you out of your control pairs and triples and stuff like that. It just kind of breaks you out of it. And I've got like a whole legal tablet full of these different drills, and I'm just kind of picking through them. I ran some of them all the way through. But the problem with these drills is some of them are pretty high round count. So like I ran one a minute ago that was a 99 round count drill, and then another one was like 150 round count drill. What doesn't bother me, I reload this stuff anyway, but still, if you're gonna want to do this in your live fire and come to the range and practice these drills, and they have a higher round count, just be aware that the drills you pick are going to dictate how many rounds you're going to go through and how many times you're going to want to run them, because if you run the 99 drill a couple of times, you've done eat up a couple of boxes of ammo. So just keep that in mind whenever you're picking your drills out, and be prepared. So if you can't afford to buy 300 rounds of ammo one weekend, save your money, skip the range this weekend and go to the next weekend whenever you can buy a little more ammo. Not saying that ammo live fire is everything, because it's not. There's a lot of things that happen in dry fire. A lot of stuff happens in dry fire. The live fire is just icing on the cake, but there is no substitute for live fire. So you do have to spend some time behind the gun with live ammunition to get that stuff that you can't get in dry fire. You have to be able to manage recoil and handle the gun in live fire situations. So you do have to spend a considerable amount of time with live ammunition. So here we go. Well, they're all hits. Only problem is I put too many in the chamber. So, but anyway, in the magazine. But it's hot and sweaty, gross. But you kind of see the point that mixing it up when you get outside your normal routine of coming to the range, how one thing can throw you off, and you can realize, well, damn, I should have been practicing that. You just add one thing that you don't normally do to your routine in your dry fire or your live fire, and you'll quickly see that there's a lot more that you need to work on. And like the old saying goes, you don't know what you don't know until it hits you in the face. So get out and train. If y'all want to know more about these drills, or got questions about how drills are done, or whatever, just I've got a pretty good source on all the links and stuff. So if you want that, just give me a shout. Anyway, train hard, guys.